me see your war face.
Hey, it's Thrand here.
Hey, this is Eldgrimr.
And today we have Casey Hendershot. He's a stuntman. He's been in a lot of movies that y'all know. And he is also the expert off of Viking vs. Samurai on Deadliest Warrior.
That's right,
and
yeah.
we're very, very proud to have him here. It's an honor.
Yeah, we're a very big fan of yours, Casey. Loved you in Deadliest Warrior.
How are you doing today?
Good, guys. Appreciate you having me. Enjoy being here, and thanks for the kudos on Deadliest Warrior, even though we got robbed.
Yeah, that's true. That was definitely robbery.
That's definitely why we made our first videos, because we thought that the show didn't really do what they were supposed to do.
I think that's sort of where our own fame kind of launched from, was from watching you on Deadliest Warrior and then seeing you get cheated after that awesome double spear throw.
Oh, that was actually why you had to do that is because of Olaf Tryggvason, and he was an old Viking king. And he supposedly could throw 2 spears at once, or 2 javelins at once at 2 different targets, but he could also juggle 3 saxes and run on the oars. So I don't think this was a feat in battle. I think it was a more of a parlor trick, and they made you do it on the show and then used it in combat. I didn't think that was too authentic if you got arrows flying at you.
Right, true. The producers came up to me pretty much on the day and said, "Hey, you think you could throw 2 spears?" And I said, "Sure." So we practiced for about 5 minutes, throwing at a 4x8 platform, and then first take with the 2, got the right one. Second take, got the left one. Third take, boom, got it. So it was
it's not easy. It's definitely
not easy. It wasn't. But when I was throwing the 1 spear, I was spot freaking on. So I'm pretty badass with I can throw a spear.
In Viking vs. Samurai, you used an axe, and I swear it looked a lot like a wood chopping axe modified or something.
That first one
broke on you, didn't it? I heard that.
Here's a funny story about that. They said, "Okay, we're gonna take the battle axe. And, we're just going to chop this block and, nice and safe." Now, we all know, like, their battle axes were, maybe 4 feet at the longest, right?
Yeah. Or it could go 5,
Okay, I'm not shitting you. They gave me one that I stood up, and I'm 6'6", and this thing was about this high. And I said to the producer, I'm like...
Longer than 5 feet even, yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it was 6 feet long, and with a really thin, crappy little...
like dowel or something.
Yeah, like something from the. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Not even a good shaft.
It's like a little dowel. But anyway, so I should, I should have said something, but I'm like, I just went along with it, and the producer's like, "You can hit it." I said, "Sure." I've never swung an axe this long, but so we go in action, and I swung down, and I overextended my arms, and the axe tip, like the back of the tip, hit, and I broke it on the dowel, and the axe itself came flying back at me, and the cameraman were like, "Ah!" So then if you watch that episode again, you'll see for a second, I got this really long one, then the next shot, I got a small.
Something that's more wieldable for you.
That's something I'm sure our fans would love to take a look at later if they get a copy of the episode. And of course, that's out on a DVD box set, so it's season 1, episode 2 was the Vikings.
2, I think, yeah.
Yeah, favorite episode of the entire 3 seasons that ran, I have to tell you.
Yeah, it was fun. And look, I mean, the guys that Tetsuro and Brett, were a lot of fun.
We're actually friends with Tetsuro Shigematsu online. We talked to him.
Yeah, me too.
He said he would love to be on here with us too. The only reason we didn't do anything right now is we've been doing this Vikings review thing, and he doesn't really. I mean, what is he going to say about the Vikings? It'd be like a comical review, I guess.
Right.
We might get him on for it anyway, just for that sake.
He'd start talking shit again.
We were kind of hoping something would come about that we could have him on for. Maybe if we do a review of that Wolverine movie where he's a samurai.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
Deadliest Warrior, they just pretty much gave you stuff and said, "Here, use this," pretty much, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was all stuff that they bought, whether they got it from somewhere or what. You had to use what they gave you. You couldn't go, "Oh no, this isn't what." I don't think I would. Yeah, I know you'd know better and go, "Wait a minute," but it's kind of like you're on a program and they're telling you pretty much use this and make it work. Yeah, I know. That's what it seemed like to me, like the axe thing.
Oh, absolutely. It was. I mean, that axe thing literally was roll. They said, here's this 6-foot long axe. Like, why? But it was still
with a crappy handle. With a crappy handle. You got
a little wooden dowel.
It shouldn't have broke that way. I'm sorry.
Broke with a very
I think they robbed you of a really great episode that should have just been a huge Viking.
I think you should have done all the weapon testing.
I think so. I think Matt Nelson should have done all the like I think we discussed before. Matt should have probably done some of the.
Yeah, we brought that up with him once before.
Yeah, in an earlier.
Matt knew the history, right? That's what you were saying. It looks like he's lagging a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, we got some lag.
Right. Oh yeah, Matt and his dad were.
It's just the audio video.
Yeah, Matt and his dad were more like for the history aspect of it, and especially Matt's dad. That dude knew everything. Thank God for him, because I studied up on it after I booked the gig, because like I said, I'm a stunt guy who happens to look like a Viking, not necessarily a historian, and so having them was great. Matt was a lot fun to work with, and I wish I could have done a little more of the weapon stuff, but it's all good.
Hey man, it added a lot of diversity to the show. I mean, you got to have different people and different shots.
Like that's axe shot. I still was complaining about that one. You don't just swing straight down and let the helmet glance it off. If you're gonna do that, you want to hit it at a. You know what I'm saying? Against the. Yeah, I think you would have been able to figure that out. You want to rock that head,
right?
Not just let it. Skip off. That's one of my things. I was like, no, And then they judged the helmet on the whole thing, and I'm gonna be honest. If they'd have checked the Viking helmet, it would have done the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that helm doesn't prove anything. The helm's the strongest piece of armor that anybody possibly wears. That's probably the first thing Ugg put on, back in the day, was a helmet to protect his head, because that's the easiest way to die, just a club blow to the head. But I said the second was probably the cod piece of the cup, though.
That's a must-have.
Yeah, even Conan wears that one.
Yeah, they even had that in Ivanhoe. He had to have a special tool for it, remember?
Oh.
No, it was that Prince Valiant.
Prince
Valiant, not Ivanhoe. But
no, I was just saying the helm's a very important thing.
I love
talking
TV. I love talking movies, and of course, Deadliest Warrior is always a favorite subject, even though it's long gone and it's outlived its time. And this is why you should definitely get in on this new series, Vikings, which is primarily why we're here today.
Right, we're going to do a review of the Vikings today and get your opinion on it. Since you do a lot of stunts, you do some fight choreography and stuff like that. What's your opinion of the show? What do you think about it?
I've been enjoying it. I think they're just from the limited knowledge that I have. Because let's get this straight. Yes, I enjoy the Viking history and Norse mythology, but I'm by no means an expert. I just happen to be a stuntman that looks like a Viking. So we'll just get that straight. But as far as the show is, I'm enjoying it. I think they're as historically accurate maybe as they can be. I'm enjoying the fight choreography because you are seeing everything. It's not like they're not flashing by, and so you kind of miss the choreography. It's like you see every slash, every time a guy's getting cut. Especially last week, that was a good little scene when he was coming down after hunting, when the village was being attacked by the Earl, and that whole sequence was great. Really enjoyed that, and that actor who plays the Earl, what's his name?
Barry said his name last.
He's so good. I mean, he was Deadwood.
He's so intense.
Jarl Harrelson, I guess.
He's so great.
Yeah,
he's so great.
Love his intensity, man. That guy's awesome.
Oh, the shield wall. The episode with the shield wall. Yes, shield wall. Yeah, that was excellent. When they on the beach. I'm sorry, I felt like I was there because I've been in many shield walls in reenactment in the society, and they're pretty brutal. Believe it or not, I mean, we get hit. We're not. It's not a. It's not a choreographed thing like that.
Right.
Not to put down steel. Steel reenactment's fun too, but we actually hit to the face and stuff. So when you get hit in the face, you can get laid out from a spear pole. If you stick your hand on that shield wall, but it's saying I felt like I was there. It felt real. The way they did it, made you feel like it was real with real weapons. And you were there in the middle of it. Where they shot it.
What I liked about the show when they did that was it showed that Vikings weren't just crazy marauders. They actually had, they had training and technique to their.
Kind of like my worst example of a Viking movie was Pathfinder. You see that one?
Oh man!
Yeah. And
I always have to dog that movie. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
The Native Americans were, I guess, all right, but the Vikings were terrible.
All right. That was like the whole. They came over and to like in the Native Americans, right?
Yeah. Right. It was terrible. They looked like stuff off a Molly Hatchet album.
Yeah, just
Right.
like a Boris Vallejo painting. You know,
very, very evil. You know, they have horns. They even have horns coming off their ship. You know, like these big, ridiculous ships so big they look like battleships or something.
Right.
You know, they're not long. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Langenskip or something.
when you talk about theatrical and stage fighting, and you talk about a show like Vikings, what do you think about that makes it unique versus other programs that have come before it that have been like Vikings?
Well, and what are we just talking about the combat?
Yeah, but just
whatever you want to say.
Really. I mean,
just your opinion, because you're in the industry. We're just viewers of a movie like that. What we do is the stuff that we do. So.
Well, it's just as far as the stunts and combat aspect of it, and like I said before, I'm really digging it. I haven't looked to see who the stunt coordinator is or the choreographer, but I love how they're doing it. Like, just because like I said before, you can see the choreography. It's not like that.
Oh, it's well done.
It's not like The Bourne Identity, which is great movie, but like it's all shaky cameras and you can't see what the hell's going on. It's like you could put two guys in the camera and do this. Oh, what I'm doing, and it looks like they're kicking each other's asses.
Yeah.
I see what you. Yeah, I know. I totally see that. I feel that realism. If there's one thing you could change though about any of the fight choreography, is there anything at all that you think you might change or like to see added to it?
Wow, change. I mean, dude, to see change. I mean, I just think because we're only how many episodes are we in? 3 or 4?
I think we're going into 6 tonight.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I think tonight's 6.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the season,
I think, I'm looking forward to seeing the showdown tonight between Ragnar and the Earl. That's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to that. So, ask me that question after that fight.
Hey, the thing
that's a hell of an endorsement.
The only thing I would change is where's all the mail? Where's the Bjornies, the shirts?
That's funny you say that.
Yeah, because I don't see any chain shirts, and they usually had money. I mean, the Vikings, especially raiders and explorers, merchants. I mean, they wanted to defend themselves, and it was the right to their religion demanded that they defend themselves and be able to fight. So where's their warlike? Where's their armor? I mean, I know that they have leather, but it looks like very light leather. If they have anything, at all, and the whole thing is the shield. It's like the other thing I would change is, I think the first thing he would do if he could pick up a shield, he'd grab a shield in that kind of combat. Especially not wearing any armor a lot of times. And the helmets, there's no helmets. I don't see any armor or helmets, on the Vikings. I'm sure they want them to have a certain look, and they like the way they look, so they don't want to cover their face up and their head and all that.
Right,
and that's not the image they're going for. So I'm thinking it's more of a costuming thing. Is the reason they're not doing it. But you would need that stuff to be successful, not to actually get nicked in the head and have your skull cut open or something, or have blood gushing out your neck, because something just barely nicked you.
Right. No, it's a good point.
What I'm saying? One little mistake without armor, and you're a goner. So, I mean, they had berserkers, but they were rare. Yeah.
With that's funny because I had worked on a thing where I did a Viking-like fight, sword and shield, and they had us put chainmail on, and that's as you know, I'm sure
it's harder to do.
Yes. It's freaking heavy, and it makes it for a much more difficult fight. And I mean, just as tires you the hell out, man. I mean.
Oh yeah, you have to get used to it. You have to wear armor all the time, get used to it. And even then, you're not going to move exactly the same way as you would without it.
No. You definitely feel the restriction, right?
Correct. Yeah. I think that a lot of it also goes back to your Bruce Lee thing back in the day. Everybody wants to see this fast fight scene and look a certain way, and they want as much mobility as possible to make it, and freedom of movement. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, freedom of movement. So it looks more exciting, and also, like in Braveheart, let's say, they had way more armor than that. A lot of them, even Wade Wallace would have had. He was actually rich. He would have had plate now, but I think it makes it more exciting when you see how much danger your heroes in, and then the enemy has armor, but they don't. If you notice that they did that on the beach scene.
Yeah,
I bet that's why they're doing also more theatrical, more.
Yeah, that's it. It could be. You'd be surprised how much control a costumer has over a production. A costumer can say, you know what? No, we don't want our guys in chainmail or armor because we have these cool leather outfits, and then B, they can sometimes costs an actor a job because they've made a particular costume that a goon like me can't fit in.
Or hey, my hair looks a certain way. Like her hair's looked a certain way, like Catherine Winnet's. And then, don't put a helmet on her because if you put a helmet on her hair, one of those helmets or something, you can't see her hair.
That's true.
Or it's covering up her face, you can't see it in the shot. We want that expression when she's.
I think that's an insight a lot of our fans are really eager to hear about too. Is that when you're on a set, no matter what show you do, whether it's our show, which is just a web series, or one of these tens of thousands, $20,000 episodes for one of these major TV shows, you've always got something on the set that restricts what you can do or what you can use.
There's always something.
Yeah, I mean, and people, we always complain when we see these shows. And we say, "Oh man, I really wish they'd have done that," but you never know what happened on the set.
Why they didn't do that?
Because they could have put chainmail on those actor, and maybe Travis Fimmel said, "Look, I don't feel comfortable fighting in chainmail. I would rather have." And not to put it here. Look, I'm not. That's just a hypothetical.
Right, we don't know.
We do.
I would assume it's a costumer, but no offense out there, the costumer nerds. We're not trying to dog on anybody. We love the program. By the way,
could be a number of different things. So many different variables. The producer may have said, "We don't have money for it. This is the History Channel. We don't have money for fucking chainmail." So
right, exactly. Well said.
That guy that ran up to the house. I don't remember what his name was. The guy who ran up there when Ragnar's injured at Floki's.
Yes.
I was like, I could see you playing that part. Why did they get you to actually play the part? The guy with the braided beard and everything.
Oh yeah, what is his name, dude? I forgot.
I can't remember the guy's name that showed up, but I was like, he would have been perfect.
That should have been Casey Hendershot.
Actually, when I did see that, I was like,
I should have applied for that.
They could put a little long wig on me. That's all good,
But we've seen a lot of great stuff, from you and Deadliest Warrior. But I know you've done some other things. Recently you were in G.I. Joe. I understand that's true, right?
I had the opportunity to work on it for a couple weeks, and that scene completely got cut. I had a quick little fight scene with Snake Eyes where he takes me and another guy out, and then a bunch of us, because we were all in, I did what was called ND stunt work, which is nondescript stunt work, where everyone's wearing the same army uniform, and so you can get killed multiple times.
Did you scream Cobra or were you American?
Oh yeah, no. Unfortunately, they didn't want to say anything. But what was funny was they
right before he cut you down.
Yeah, I was definitely the tallest guy by probably 3 or 4 inches, and I had died probably 3 or 4 times at this point. And I'm standing up there, and we're waiting. We're doing. See, me and this guy are going to shoot Snake Eyes, right? And he's coming through this tunnel, and right out in the wide open, we have him dead to rights. But of course, he points up and shoots both of us. We're supposed to do a little high fall. The second unit director, this guy George Ruby, who did all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, he's walking with the stunt coordinator Tommy DuPont. And they look up at me, and Tommy goes, "Hey, dude, look small." I said, "Look small?" I said, well, "Why?" He goes, "Well, George said, how many times are we going to see the big guy die?" So it's that was pretty funny. So unfortunately, I don't get to do much ND stunt work because
you're not really ND. Yeah,
right.
You pretty much stand out.
You could have been the special guy they brought in to kick Snake Eyes' ass.
Well, it would have been nice.
Yeah. I mean, the size of you, I'm saying you could have been the super soldier or something they call it.
Right, yeah. You could have been Joe himself.
Would have been nice to do a fight with a rock.
That would have been cool.
You were also in a good movie, one of my favorite movies, which most people like don't even remember probably. In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege adventure by Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll did that one.
Yeah,
I love his stuff. He does video game movies.
Oh yeah. He always does all of the video games, yeah. But he was fun to work with. I was Burt Reynolds' assistant at the time, and so went up to Canada with Burt, and then got to be one of the Husarians, those creatures.
They look like orcs, kind of. They remind me of orcs.
Yeah.
It's very Lord of the Ringish, but more like a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Me and my friend Mark Molina, went to see it, and that's what we didn't know what we were going into. We just knew it was kind of an all-star cast, like Burke, Reynolds, and all the other action heroes and stuff. And we went, and that's what we loved about it. It reminded us of, like, when you're sitting there at a table, playing pen and paper and playing Dungeons and Dragons or something, the way you picture it, It's sort of a movie or something. Yeah, it was excellent. It was still one of my ones.
It was fun. I was the Husarian that chased the little boy and caught the little boy. And then I have this fight scene with Jason Statham, right? And it says, in the sides that day, an epic fight scene between Farmer, the character Farmer, Jason Statham, and Husarian. And it's when the Husarian's on horseback and he jumps off the rock and takes the Husarian off and then cuts his head off, straight off, right? Well, what was supposed to happen, taken off the horse, and now that was a horse guy on the horse, but once we went down to the ground, it was going to be me, and we, they had those big long sais that we were supposed to fight with. And it's an epic fight scene. So Jason and I are actually putting together just a few moves to show Uwe, right? And Uwe goes, yeah, so, okay, so Jason will take Casey off the horse, Casey gets up, and once Jason cuts his head off. And I said, well, but Uwe, am I the big sissy Husarian? Because this is supposed to be like, it says epic fight right here. He goes, yeah, Casey, Jason's so much more fast. He just cut your head off. It's good.
Yeah.
So,
it went from epic fight scene to epic instant death.
Yeah, epic instant boom. But anyway, and actually what was funny, when we were setting up the shot, like, where Jason's on top of me, and we're about to, like, stand up, and he looks down at me, looks me right in the eye, and goes, they fucked you, didn't they, buddy? And I was like, yeah, they fucked me. Sorry.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say, sorry.
That's alright, we're on YouTube, it's alright. It's alright.
I loved it to hear these things. That was such a great film.
Well, you did something in Walking Dead, I think, or something like that.
Or no?
No, Walking Dead was another.
It's a show called Zombieland, which
Zombieland. There you go.
Yeah, they're basically just doing a TV show based on the movie, and I just worked on that a few weeks ago in Atlanta, and had the opportunity to be like kind of the feature zombie in this particular episode where the zombie apocalypse is happening. It's just started. And you have these two office workers who I can't remember the actor's name, both of which are recognizable, like commercial actor and actress. Anyway, they're like talking office talk with their backs to the picture window, and right behind them is like these, in the parking lot, like people getting killed and fired, all this shit, all this stuff is happening. So I'm a zombie, and I'm chasing this guy who's literally all on fire, and I'm the one zombie who gets winded, so I gotta kind of take my breath, look around, and then inside I see the Tallahassee character, which was played by Woody Harrelson at the time, but in the show it's by another actor who, again, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, to give him a plug.
I know what that's like.
Yeah. He shows them a Twinkie. I outside notice the Twinkie, and then have to have all this blood and vomit come out of my mouth, which I've been holding in my mouth for 30 seconds, running around, and then run, dive through the window, kill a dude, and then I get killed I'm the first zombie to be killed by the lead, and then he kind of sees what's going on, and then it's like he's realized what his stake in life is to be a zombie killer, and then he kind of walks out in the apocalypse, and the show starts. So it was a good spot. It was fun.
That's a hell of an honor to be the first zombie kill of the series.
Yeah,
right.
Cool. Well, you were in Avatar too. I think you did some stuff in that. But anyway, go on. As I said,
I was the war machine at the end in Avatar that fought it was the end fight with.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
I'm about to go back and watch that again.
Knowing that it's Casey doing that.
From when, remember the female she's riding that like panther.
Right.
And from the time the panther gets killed to the time when the war machine has the thing, the knife, the weapon in its thing, and then he throws it
right
at the lead, and then it kind of goes into that trailer. That whole sequence, I'm the war machine doing the fight.
Oh,
dude. So the stunt And then obviously working with James Cameron was like an unbelievable.
Yeah, you don't even have to put words that you can't, man. I mean, what I wouldn't do to be able to work with Cameron.
Total pro. And actually, that Viking fight that I was mentioning to you before, that was Avatar 2 camera tests, and I got to work with James Cameron again. But this time doing a sword and shield fight, you know. I mean, it was
brought that up. You messaged me and said you were thinking about me and the sword and shield. What you were doing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because
awesome.
they weren't super authentic, because it was more like a
right. It's
like a medieval hall than a Viking sort of setup. But because like the shield I used was a shield that, you know, with the wrap on the forearm, and you held it like that.
And normally they're held by a center boss.
Yeah, you know, but like I say, you know, we're kind of running out a little time here, and you know, it's time to kind of wrap things up and bring this to a close. Was there anything that you might like to say, like maybe some projects you might like to be involved in? Do you have any future projects you're going to be in that we want to look for?
The projects that I'd like to work for?
Yeah.
Oh, let's get on Vikings and Game of Thrones immediately.
Yes.
We'd love to see you.
That's what I'm talking about. Do you have any projects in the pipelines right now that we can expect to see you in?
I mean, I worked on I worked on a movie called Outsider, but I think that's like a straight-to-video thing. It's just a bouncer that got my butt kicked.
Hey, man.
It's still worth seeing. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I will too. I mean,
I got to work on Revolution, NBC Revolution, so that was cool.
Man, that's what I haven't even watched
but,
yet.
like, the chick just shot and killed me. I was like, done. I was supposed to have I was supposed to have a sword fight with Billy Burke, the lead, right? The stunt coordinator, Jeff Wolf, another super talented, great guy, calls me and goes, hey, I got a couple days for you. It's, sword fight with the lead. He goes, it's, 3 or 4 moves, but, you'll be killed, and, good time, awesome, just can't wait. The next day he calls me. He goes, dude, I got to get you on the next one. They made the uniform, so you have to fit the uniform. So I couldn't, obviously it was too big. So there was an example of a costumer costing me a job. God bless all you costumers out there.
Yes.
Discrimination against the big guy. That's what it
Right.
is.
Well, let's hope that discontinues in the future and your luck improves on these. We'd love to see you get some epic fight scenes.
Yeah, and all our fans out there, Casey's fans, you need to send emails to Vikings and Game of Thrones to get him on there, or you'll no longer watch the program. No, I'm joking. You watch the program, but just tell him you want him on there.
Yeah,
don't be mean to him. But they're great programs, both of them.
Casey, again, we're really big fans of yours, man. And man, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on our program with us today.
One day we could get together and shoot a little short 5-minute video or something. You could be teaching us how a fight scene works in a movie or something. I don't know, something.
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. Let him do something with us instead of us trying to.
Yeah.
Just as fun. Like a.
Right.
Yeah, do a Viking fight
It's
scene.
real.
Then show us how to do it. Like show scenes of showing us how to do it or something. Then have it all put together at the end.
Sure.
If we could pull it off, I don't know what you're right.
Yeah. Just let me know if you're coming out this way.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Definitely.
Nothing else, hit the bars or go fishing or something.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, something.
Little fishing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, cool, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate you, Casey.
From the Stone Age to the Space Age, if you like sharp things, pointy things, sharp pointy things, or even explodey things, then visit Thrand and Eldgrimr's Well of Remembrance on Facebook, or visit us at YouTube user Theg and Thrand to see all the action.